Hi all, welcome back to Backup World. Today we'll learn about Active Directory Domain Controller backup in Rubrik. To configure ADDC backup in Rubrik, we need to perform few prerequisites like SMB security to be configured for respective domain, RBS agent to be installed, GMS account to be added for our Rubrik backup services in active DC host and Windows Server backup feature to be installed and enabled on the DC host. Few firewall port to be opened bidirectionally between ADDC host and Rubrik cluster 12800, 12801. These are RBS ports. Uh, 88, 53, 389, 636, 445, 646, and 3268 and 3268. These ports should be opened bidirectionally between ADTC host and Rubrik cluster. Once we are fine with these prerequisites, then we are good to configure backup in Rubrik for ADDC. So to register ADTC host in Rubrik, we have to navigate RSC data protection, inventory, all. Under all, we can see Active Directory option. We have to select the ADDC Active Directory. Then once we select and we have to search for DC host here. When we find DC host, we have to check whether we are able to configure, assign SLA domain for that DC host. So if the DC host is not yet added, and then we can see this data protection option would be degraded status. When you move cursor there, we will get to know if RBS installed or not. If RBS already installed, then we are good to register host. If RBS not yet installed, we have to install RBS and then click on register now option. Once we click on register now option, so we will be able to add Rubrik, DC ADDC host in Rubrik. So once we added DC host, we can see the option to assign SLA domain. That means we this option will be enabled. So once SLA is assigned and backup is configured, then will be able to perform restore. So once backup is completed, click on the DC host. Then we can see here snapshots. Select snapshot which to be here recover. And once we click on recover option, then we can find couple of options like a recovery type, granular recovery or domain controller recovery. Granular recovery, we can recover individual files. Suppose if we delete any file from AD host, in this case we delete this file, while demo backups setup backup. Once we deleted that file, then we can test the restore. So navigate to that, select that granular recovery option and navigate to users. Once we navigate, we have to select this file which is deleted in our test environment and perform recovery. When we perform recovery, we have to select couple of options like we are overwriting or not overwriting, only recovering the missing objects like that. So we have to select the required options, and if you want to recover password, we can select that and click next. Once we once restore is completed, then we can log into ADDC host and verify the file is recovered or not. So once file is recovered, then we can go and test that user. Then second option, we can recover through DC recovery, or we can call it as bare metal recovery under DC recovery. So DC recovery, once we select DC recovery, we can see here three options again here. So we can restore to alternative host where the RBS already installed, uh, or we can restore to separate VM or physical host which is newly built. So while building the host, I mean to when we build new VM or physical host, we can perform or restore through bare metal recovery, or we can recover to original host. So once we select bare metal recovery, then we can see the we have to provide some local accounts at the authentication to log in the VM or physical host. So we have to provide username password. So once we provide username password, so we have to provide the host IP also. Once we provide IP, we are good to recover through bare metal recovery. So once bare metal recovery is completed, so we are good to access the host and validate all the AD resources and users and all. So that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.